Welcome back. I'm JT with Sport Court of Austin. We are out here in Spicewood, Texas. This project is complete. It looks awesome. Customers are ecstatic. They're ready to get out here and play some pickleball. Once we finished that concrete pour, we had to wait at least 45 days for the concrete to cure before we could come on and do the surfacing. During that time, we did the fencing, the lights, the basketball goal, the net system, everything else that needed to be done. We even added a little section of fencing here because they wanted a little more fencing. While that was being complete, we had to wait for the masonry wall to be done. And then about 3 days ago, we were out here with our painters. We prepped the slab, we acid washed it. We did our coat of acrylic resurfacer, which is kind of a primer base coat of black. We did our 2 layers of color of each of these colors. These colors they chose are amazing. They've got dark green on the outside, dove gray and gray in the court, and it looks great. I'm gonna give you a little walkthrough around this court of what all components are on it. Right here, we have our PowerSlam 60-inch basketball system. It's adjustable from 10 feet, which is basketball regulation, all the way down to 5.5 feet, which is pretty short for the little kids who want to be able to play on it. Right now we have this cranked down to 7.5 feet. This is the lowest it will go without removing a safety pin that's on the back. That safety pin is to keep the kids from over cranking it to go even lower. Very easy for an adult to reach up there, remove that pin, crank it down, but do be careful. If you over crank that actuator, you can break it. So that's the reason that safety pin is in there. It's a really cool feature that keeps it so that kids can use it at this low height very easily. But they also love bringing it down. The little kids love to dunk on it. This thing is sturdy as can be. You can hang on it, dunk on it. That's exactly what it's made for. It's called a PowerSlam for a reason. You got a 60-inch tempered glass that's shatter resistant board. It's gonna play just like a regulation gym. If you're a little more into basketball and you're practicing a lot, you might consider going out to a 72-inch board because that is the regulation size for a basketball gym. Most goals don't have any problem going down because that's where the weight is, but this thing has this really awesome spring-assisted actuator right here in the middle, which means cranking it up, which is what I'm doing right now, is a breeze. If you look at my hand, I can use basically 1 or 2 fingers to crank this up. So any kid can do this. This keeps it from having to have mom or dad run down and crank up or down the goal. It makes it a really seamless, easy process or easy goal to use. This right here is our net adjustment system. It's a net system that's got 1, 2, 3, 4 levels for pickleball / paddle tennis height, badminton height here, women's volleyball, and men's volleyball at the top. It's very quick and easy to adjust between different sports. This is great for family use, etc. Back here on the back, we've got a little step that steps down. That allows me to go up very easily and reach these upper levels to be able to hook up the net system. That's what that step is there for. Right now, I'll show you how to hook it up at pickleball height. We're gonna take the other end of our net, walk it down here. Right here on our basketball goal, we've got the matching height for pickleball. I'm gonna hook it in here with the top cable. Down here on the bottom, I'm gonna take my bungee cord, hook it down to this eye bolt, carabiner right there. I'm gonna walk back over to the other side and crank this tight. So I'm just gonna flip the switch the right way, and I'm gonna crank it tight here. So, just like that. Now if I wanna raise this up to the next level, all I do, pull it back, flip the switch, loosen it up. I like to actually get on this side and just pull it. Makes it go a little faster. Get your plenty of slack out. Come over to the other side. Let's say you want to go up to women's volleyball height. I'm going to unhook these here. Flip down my step in the back for some help. Grab onto the goal wherever I need to. I'm going to go up here to the women's volleyball level. Hook it there. I'm gonna go my next rung down, hook up my bungee cords. Okay. I'm simply gonna walk back, take my bungee cords off. I'm gonna run these cables behind these pulleys. Right? There's one side that's just the hook, and the other side that's the pulley. take my step, I'm gonna go up here to the very top, hook it over the edge. If this is hard, if it's a little too heavy, you can always hook this up without the net attached. Makes it a little easier for some to do. This particular court, we have it set in a removable sleeve. Lots of times we do this across from a light pole, but in this case, they wanted to be able to walk behind the net while it was up. So we have it in a removable sleeve in the court so that when they want to play basketball, it's not in the way. Now I'm going to crank it down like so. And the last thing you want to do is you want to hook these cables up to, hook the bungee cords up to the cable. Give it a couple more cranks down, get it nice and tight. Now, in about the course of what, 45 seconds, 1 minute, you're playing women's volleyball. So we've talked a little bit about how much a pickleball court costs, and we walked through some of the aspects like concrete work and site work and other aspects like that. I'm actually going to walk you step by step through this customer's invoice. I'm not going to tell you the name. However, I'm going to step you through each cost that these customers pay. So the number one here, this is a 34 by 60 foot court. Your court will likely be a different size than 34 by 64. So that does mean the numbers change. Be aware of that. When you get larger in square footage, the numbers are going to go up. You get smaller in square footage, the numbers are going to go down. Now, they have a pretty complex site too, with quite a bit of slope. If you've got less slope, generally speaking, it'll be a little less expensive. You're gonna see that come out in the site work and then in the concrete work. If you've got crazy amount of slope, hard access, hard dirt, you need to do lots more excavation, stuff like that, it's gonna be a little bit more. So you got a lot of choices that come in here as to what's going to dictate the end price for your court. At the end of the day, you need a professional to come out and tell you an exact quote that we would commit to building it for. This is meant to give you a general ballpark of what a court costs. If you're watching this video and you don't live in Austin, Texas, or you don't live in the Central Texas region, do not call your sport court dealer and say, hey, I found this guy in Texas who can build my court for 10% less, because they might have a totally different business and cost structure than we do. So do understand, this is for our company. You'll probably be able to find someone to do it cheaper. You'll probably be able to find someone to do it more expensive. At the end of the day, you've got to choose what's right for your budget and who you trust to do the work. We had tree removal, major cut and fill, and we ended up needing also overcut for drainage. That came out to about $9,000. The 5-inch post-tension slab for this was $21,000. And then you've got a concrete pump, which for a super long run of a concrete pump was $1,500. You've got a turn down beam on the low side of the court, which is the extra concrete. And then you've got some extra concrete work up here to get ready for this masonry retaining wall. That's another $9,000. This retaining wall itself, Sport Court of Austin, we didn't build this, although sometimes we do. We just set it up for their masons to come in and do it. If I had to take a guess, if it was just a retaining wall, I'd say somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000. They did this really nice seat bench. I have no idea how much this costs, but it's about a 3-foot retaining wall. Then we get into the court components. We've got the acrylic paint, about $9,000. I guess $9,000 is a pretty similar deal. These aren't round numbers. I am just rounding it up for the video. But then we've got our PowerSlam basketball system, adjustable at $2,600. We've got the light system, 2 LED lights at 24,000 lumens a piece at $3,500. We've got our multi-sport net with a pole at $730. And then we have our fencing, which is a total of 110 linear feet of fencing at $2,500. That's $25 linear feet. We've got freight, labor, and tax. That all totals up to be about $25,000 for the actual court components itself. And then that leaves them with a grand total of about $65,000. So on the grand scheme of pickleball courts, this is a pretty expensive pickleball court, right? This is on a slope. It's not on flat ground. If you pull out those extra costs that it takes to get this flat, you're gonna quickly see about a $17,000, $18,000 reduction in your price. Generally speaking, that's how much this court costs. You are going to need an expert to tell you exactly how much your court would cost in your backyard. The designs could be very different. But all in all, this project is really beautiful. It's a great multi-purpose setup. On this court, we have 2 LED lights spaced on 2 different poles. A lot of pickleball courts, we go with 1 pole in the center with 2 light fixtures on that singular pole. In this case, they wanted a little better lighting, so we spaced out the lights 15 feet off the center of the court. Each of these lights puts off 24,000 lumens. They're gonna last for probably a lifetime, and they're just gonna put off really, really good lighting. If you want a professional grade court, you're gonna need at least 4 poles and probably double the lumen output to 48,000 lumens per fixture. But in this case, residential, you don't wanna blow up the hillside and have everyone from Marble Falls or Austin be able to see your court. This is gonna be just enough. It's gonna be plenty of lighting for basic level and competitive pickleball, and they'll be able to play at night for decades and decades to come with these LED lights. If we look over here at our fencing, we've got a polypropylene net mesh fencing here. You can see it's very soft. It's got a lot of give to it, but it's also very strong. It's gonna hold people in and balls in to keep someone from going off the edge. Anytime you've got more than about maybe an 18-inch drop off, which over here in the corner, we've actually got about 8 feet. If you've watched our other videos on this court, you've seen how big that corner is. It's tall, right? It's about an 8-foot corner out of the ground. So when you've got that, you have to have something that is strong, that's gonna hold people in. And then also, it's really helpful when it holds the balls in. So when we're playing pickleball, I don't wanna have to chase the ball all day long down the hill. We've got fencing around 3 sides of this. Now on the uphill side, some people like to put fencing. It's not really necessary, right? Ball goes over there, it's gonna roll right back. Generally, the net fencing is what we do most of the time for residential and recreational applications. If you're at a facility, if you're looking to build something where you wanna hold wind screening or a tennis court or something like that, we would probably upgrade to a chain link fence, which is a lot more expensive and it's gonna look more commercial, but it's gonna have a little longer durability. This fence will last you at least 10, 15 years. The chain link fence will last you much longer than that because it's made out of metal. But you're not gonna get the softness that you get with this fence. You run into a chain link fence, you've got a middle support bar here, you're gonna hit something hard, right? But this doesn't have the strength right here to hold something like wind screening. A wind screen out here in Spicewood with high winds could just take all of this and fly off. What we have on this court, which is 34 feet wide and 60 feet long, is standard pickleball lines. Standard pickleball lines are 44 feet long and 20 feet wide. What that gives them in this case is they've got 7 feet of out of bounds here on both sides. So when I'm playing pickleball, I wish I had a paddle with me, but I don't, and I hit a ball and someone hits it over here and I'm chasing it, I can hit the ball and have plenty of room to stop my momentum before I run off the court. Your bare minimum is probably 26 by 54. Your residential standard is 30 by 60, and your competitive play is 34 by 64. So you got a lot of options when it comes to laying out courts. This is probably our most popular with pickleball court in the middle, basketball hoop, you have full half court basketball here in the center. So we're doing a lot of these courts right now, and but ultimately the design choice is up to you. The surfacing that they chose on this court is an acrylic paint surface. It's made by Sportmaster. It is the US Pickleball Association's preferred coating for pickleball courts. Overall, the surface, the color choices are awesome. I'm really happy with the way this came out, and there's a lot of different options you can do as far as colors. Remember that the lighter the colors you choose, the more imperfections you may see in the paint surface. The darker, generally the less. However, also the darker, the hotter the surface is. So this nice and light surface here is going to be pretty cool. If you have a facility of sorts, you can get some LEED credits with this light surface. And there's a whole lot of different options you can do as far as colors. This brings us to the finale of this pickleball court build in Spicewood, Texas. We're so excited that you came and joined us on this video stream of documenting everything that happened. We hope we did a good job of answering any questions that you may have, and hopefully we showed you what you can build in your own backyard. Here at Sport Court of Austin, we have been building multi-purpose courts just like this one since 1978. We love bringing families and friends out to a place to play. Whether you live in Austin or someplace else, feel free to give us a call and we'll help you out with whatever questions you got. Thanks for tuning in. For the moment, this court is complete. and they'll be ready to play in no time.